A while ago, I hit upon a terrible idea. What if I sampled all the seasonal anime for the fall 2020 anime season and made a video about it? I had no idea what that video was going to look like, but I'd never gone and watched all the seasonal anime before and figured that a seasonal anime video was something that all the AniTubers resigned themselves to doing eventually. So with nary a care, I leaped into the pool of fall 2020 anime and watched one episode of every new TV anime that wasn't a sequel or spin-off and had been subtitled in English. I ended up watching 31 episodes of anime, and boy was that... I'm tempted to say mistake, but honestly, I don't regret doing this. I would certainly regret it if I tried to do it every season, because geez, that's too much anime, but for just trying it out once, it went alright. And now here I am, ready to report my findings. If you want to know my thoughts on the individual shows, I did go through and record unscripted, I guess the word would be reactions to each show immediately following my viewing of each, and I'll be uploading those as a separate video linked in the description and made public the day after this video goes live. So you can find my seasonal recommendations there, but my recommendations are not the purpose of this video. In this video, I just want to relay to you my experiences with trying to watch too many anime and my resulting takeaways. So what were my takeaways? 1. I like anime too much. 2. There's too many anime. 3. Most bad anime aren't really all that bad, just underwhelming or mediocre. Either that or just have really low standards. In any case, let's go through these 3 points one by one. Point 1, I like anime too much. Before setting off on this journey, I hadn't been engaging with anime terribly much, and even when I did, there wasn't an awful lot of variety in what I was watching. After putting out my Hokuto video, during the production of which Hokuto Precure was pretty much the only anime I watched, I experienced a month-long anime drought, during which I watched pretty much nothing and was engaged in doing other stuff, like that Nuzlocke video. Even after that, I only had 2 shows I was actively engaged with. Ojamajo Doremi, a video about which I just uploaded, and Aria. They occupied a little bit of time each day, but not much. My mindscape was magical girls and general pleasantness, which is good, you know? I like all that jazz, else I wouldn't engage with it. But anime, like any medium, is a whole lot more than that. And while I certainly didn't need to go through all this trouble to remind myself of that, it did help. And boy, anime sure can do a lot of things, and a lot of it is awesome. In the process of watching all the seasonal anime, I identified 8 shows that I liked enough to put on my currently watching list. On the one hand, that's really exciting. Like, wow, I just found a bunch of shows that I might enjoy that I might have passed by otherwise due to not regularly engaging with seasonal anime. And there's a whole lot of fun to be had there. And I like fun. On the other hand, this is kind of scary because holy shit, 8 shows. How the hell am I gonna keep up with 8 shows? I don't know if I have the time for that. This is almost too much. And that leads into point 2. There's too many anime. So not only did I add too many anime to my currently watching list, but I also put a bunch of shows on hold that I enjoyed enough to want to return to, but couldn't justify prioritizing given how many shows I went and picked up. There's simply too much content for any one person to reasonably keep up with. Even during these trying times when you'd think we'd have more free time, there's definitely some critique of capitalism you could levy in here, with a saturated industry chasing the infinite futile dream of endless expansion and wealth accumulation, resulting in a copious quantity of shows, some well-produced, many not. But what all that results in on the consumer end, my end specifically, is sadness. Because damn do I like anime, and damn were there plenty of more shows I would have been happy to continue with had I the time, had their releases been staggered. But because the companies must chase their profits, because there's so many, because they must be produced and put out on such a rigid schedule, the dream of watching all the anime you like has alas become just that, a dream. Of course, that dream doesn't include watching all the anime period, and for good reason. Not all the anime are worth watching. But by that, I don't mean that the seasonal anime charts are filled with unwatchable trash like one might expect from an industry prioritizing quantity over quality. Rather, a lot of anime isn't worth watching simply because it's point 3, painfully average. There were a lot of shows I watched this season where I couldn't identify anything particularly bad or anything about them. They just simply didn't do enough to engage me. Nothing would be stellar about them, quite a bit would be lackluster, but ultimately, they would still be competently put together on some level. The bulk of anime goes unnoticed simply because it's forgettable. Bad anime we notice. bad anime we make fun of, because when it's notably awful, at least there's something to engage with, something to criticize and learn from. But when a show doesn't engage us either way, it just sinks to the bottom of the popularity charts, never to be thought about again. In my experience of the fall 2020 anime, there were only a couple of shows that I actively disliked as I viewed them, and those, to my displeasure, stand out more in my memory than the myriad of shows that were simply alright. But I overall still had a good time. I mean, the sheer number of shows that were just alright to slog through and the few bad apples were enough that I might have gone a little crazy for a bit, but still, I ended up finding enough shows that I liked for the journey to have been worth it. There's a whole lot of anime out there, and not all of it is great, but I still enjoy engaging with the medium regardless. Thanks for sitting through my rambling about the experience of watching seasonal cartoons. If you want thoughts on particular shows, check the description for that video. Again, it'll go public the day after this video goes live, so you can always check out my channel or subscribe. So I'll see you over there in that video, and if I don't forget to be gay and do crimes.